Hi everyone, my name is Jeff, and today I will be showing you how to do an integration between the Workspace One UEM plus dual security for trusted endpoints. Now I will be focusing only on the endpoint for this video. So the first thing you need to do is to download the Intelligent Hub from the public app store, and we will now do a enrollment for the Android device. So it's actually prompting me for a group ID. So the group ID specifies which group of users and profiles you want to configure this Android device to actually connect and register itself to. So over here, I will use a manual process to copy and paste the um, enrollment details. Okay, so if you wanted to, you can integrate this with an Active Directory so that users can key in their email addresses, and that does an auto discovery for them, which is pretty nice, right? So I do have my username and password key in. So what's going to happen next is the enrollment process is going to kick off connecting to the Workspace One UEM in the cloud, and from there it's going to pull down the respective policies and profiles required. So I will click on I understand in terms of the privacy policy, and what you see on screen now, it's a download and setup of your work profile. So the work profile kind of segregates the difference between things that are issued by the enterprise and things that are personal on the mobile device. So do take note that this does not work on older version of Androids that do not support work profiles, such as version 7, right? You do need the more up-to-date versions of Android for this to work. So what happens is you can configure the respective applications required by the enterprise in the Workspace One UEM, and it will do a default kind of push, or you can actually publish it on the internal app store so that users can go to the app store and install the required apps. So as you can see, I've successfully enrolled my device. So let's go to the public internal app stores and install Duo Mobile. So as you can see, these apps are published by me, by IT, to the end user's device. So you can actually download these applications. So do note that there is a difference between these apps that are on the internal app store versus things that are on the public app store. So we have actually put some configurations and profiles around these apps so that they are managed. So how do I know if the profile is managed or the app is managed or not? So if you actually take a look at my work folder over here, every little one of them that are managed by my Workspace One UEM has a little suitcase icon next to it. All right, so that's how we differentiate things that are managed by IT and things that are personal to the end users. And we can actually do things like a remote wipe if required. So even if I go to the App Store over here, right, you see that these applications are actually limited in this location. So the next step that I'll be doing is I'm going to register my Duo Mobile, and what's going to happen is the screen is going to go blank because I cannot show you what's going to happen on screen due to a security policy on my Duo Mobile app. But essentially, I have registered my Duo Mobile app using a QR code, which is extremely fast and simple. So you can see that now my Duo Mobile app is registered and good to go. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to test out if the trusted endpoint works. So what I've done is I have a Azure Active Directory configured along with a user account created for access to Office 365. Okay, so essentially the user is going to be able to do a verification of their endpoint device before they are actually allowed onto Office 365, and that will come as a interception in terms of a prompt for MFA. So over here I have gone to the Office 365 web page, I'm going to key in my username and the password to the account as well. Okay, click on sign in. And as you can see, I am actually being challenged and redirected to duosecurity.com. And it says the Duo Mobile needs to check if this device is approved for access. So I'm going to click on OK. It's going to check my permissions. So we can actually check for things like if the endpoint is jailbroken or rooted, or if it has the latest versions of a web browser. So I'm going to say send me a push. So as you can see, I've gotten a push notification. Again, I apologize that you can't see what's happening on screen, but basically I'm going to click on approve on my Duo mobile screen. So I'm redirected back to Office Online, and it's prompting me if I want to stay signing in. I'm going to click on no. And just like that, I am in Office 365. So if you are provisioned with any Office 365 apps, you can actually access the apps from this screen. All right. So that's about it for me for this little demo on the endpoint. Thank you for your time.